Greetings, conscious entrepreneurs. I'm Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and you are live on the Sajdah Saturday Morning Coffee Talks, where we talk about life, love, and business. I told y'all this is real reality radio. I was literally up all night, and so I decided to lay down for a minute. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. And then I realized that, oh shoot, it's 5:50. So I'm probably functioning on a little adrenaline. Have no idea what I look like today, but it's okay. We're going to have a good time anyway. You know what I wanted to talk about today is I wanted to talk about freedom. And I had something queued up to play that I wanted to just share with us about freedom. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Brother Durrell. Thank you, Brother Kevin. For those of you who are just joining, I was saying that I was up all night because, we've been working on these, getting these signatures and stuff just to celebrate the nomination of the Elijah Muhammad House to the National Historic Registry. So I was just up, planning and putting emails together and praying and thinking, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. But let me put this in the chat. Elijah Muhammad House, and so anyway, I got up. I usually get up like around 4-ish. And then today, I didn't lay down until 4, so I got up 10 minutes ago. So this is what y'all get, 10 minutes of preparation. There's nothing but lip gloss, comb my hair, so we're ready to go, right? But we're going to talk about freedom today. That's what I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I can find this motivational video that I had pulled up. Y'all know I usually got my stuff all queued up and I'm all ready to go, right? Thank you, Mom. Okay, I think this is it. Yeah, I want to talk about freedom because, a lot of times we don't even realize when we're in bondage. Sean Michelle's, assalamu alaikum, I bet that's Sister Nataki. I don't even think we realize when we are in bondage. So I want to start us off by doing this quick motivational video on believing in yourself, because the root of pulling out of this bondage that we're in, and I'm talking about the bondage of the thoughts and the beliefs of other people. You ever been in a relationship with somebody and it wasn't until y'all broke up and you went on with your life, or you stopped being friends with them or stopped being connected with them, that you looked up and you realized, man, I'm so glad I ain't got to be bothered with what they think and what they want me to do and them being all in my business? Y'all ever had that experience? We're going to talk about that because that is rooted, that kind of issue, that kind of problem is rooted in us not believing in ourselves. So we're going to talk about freedom today. We're going to talk about freedom of thought, freedom of mind, freedom to make your own decisions, just straight up freedom. But first we're going to listen to, it's just a quick 4-minute video on believing in yourself. And it's something that's very powerful. And I kind of tend to use videos, I use talks on the minister, the messenger, other videos, just to calibrate myself and put myself in a certain space even before I go into a meditation. Like if I want to meditate on believing in myself, if I feel like I can sense that maybe I'm in bondage a little bit, then I'll do that. And before I play it, y'all know about the best series on Instagram. Most of y'all on here already know. It's the Mo Today series on Black Muslim businesses, and I wanted to highlight a couple of businesses. The first one is Powder Power. You all probably remember the talk we did with Powder Power. And Powder Power has this great talc that they sent me. It doesn't have all the harmful Johnson & Johnson ingredients, but follow them at Powder Power. This one is called Serenity. It's beautiful and it smells so good, and it's just, you know, it gives you that clean feeling when you put it on. She also has a natural insect repellent. This is from Powder Power. So I like to sit outside, and I like to, you know, last night I was sitting outside just reading and working, and I used this, and I loved it. So this is awesome. So I don't know if this works by itself, but this, in addition to having some spraying of my outdoor area, really helped with the mosquitoes. And then, of course, don't forget to get your commemorative Elijah coin. This will help us with the renovation and restoration of the former home of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It also will give you an heirloom made of the copper from the home of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So let's listen to this 5-minute video, and let's get into this freedom we were talking about here. It's only 4 minutes, actually. Y'all can hang with me for 4 minutes, right? Don't chip and dip me. I know y'all sleepy too. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, all right, so this is starting. At least I think it's starting. It's like I got the hourglass spinning. Reminds me of when we first got internet, right? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear this okay.
A belief is a feeling of absolute certainty. If you want to achieve anything in life, you need to get certain you will achieve it. You must believe in yourself.
If y'all can hear this, give me a thumbs up.
Results, because you
Thank you, Brother
never
Lamont.
take action towards something you don't believe is possible. You can have all the education in the world. It doesn't matter. If you don't believe you can do it, you will never get it. Do you think Jordan could have become the greatest if he didn't believe in himself? Not a chance. He would have quit when things got hard. He would have quit when he was cut from his high school basketball team. You think Serena would be the greatest female tennis player in history without belief? Not a chance. These great athletes, great entrepreneurs, great human beings are great because they believe in themselves. They believe when no one else does. They believe when they are down. They believe when they are at rock bottom. This is my dream, and I will succeed. Maybe not immediately, but absolutely and definitely. There is no doubt in my mind. This goal I have, this dream I have, I will get it. I will. I will. I will. Beliefs control your results because you will never take action towards something you don't believe is possible. In order to succeed, you must believe. In order to believe you're good enough, you must be good enough. If you're not there yet, get to work. Work! 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 Until you get to the place where you know you will make it. No doubt. No doubt. I will make it. I will get it. I will have it. Work on your weaknesses until they become your strengths. Work on your flaws until they become your fire. Work on your problems until they become your power. You have to believe that something great can happen. Even if there is no evidence, believe that you can't to the knowing that you can. Wait, you can't just go off logic. The greatest achievements in the world defy logic. They are born from belief. The greatest achievements did not come from someone who saw what was possible and didn't dare attempt better. The greatest achievements came from those who see what is possible, but still believe they can achieve something impossible.
Did y'all hear that? You got to believe that you can achieve something impossible. You got to set a goal for yourself that is so big that you don't even really know how you're going to get it done. You got to set a goal and say, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then the very thought of the goal will expand you. And you don't pursue it with relentless desperation. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just going, I'm so desperate that I'm going to work and work and push and push and work, even beyond logic. No, you got to be laser focused. You got to be like a determined God with a level of intention. And you got to make sure that you don't even pay attention to things that you don't want. You don't even want your vibration mixed up with stuff that you don't want. So I develop a way of evaluating things, of having conversations with God, a way of making sure that I'm very intentional about my moves when I'm working on something. That's just like we were talking about stain yesterday for the porch of the Elijah Muhammad house, also known as Sajdah house. And we were talking about stains. So I'm only looking at stains that are in the family of the idea that I received through what I call a process of accelerated intention or accelerated suggestion. So I know the stain has to be brown. I know it has to be within a certain family of browns. So I'm not looking at red stains. I'm not looking at blue stains. I'm not looking at yellow stains. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not looking at the stuff. If I'm buying a dress and somebody comes and shows me photos, I'm not looking at 2 wheels. Then I'm not going to look at that truck that's on 2 wheels because I'm not interested in a truck on 2 wheels. I'm interested in a 4-wheel truck, right? That's just a silly example. But what I'm doing is I'm setting the intention for what it is that I'm looking for. And what will happen is if my attention is in alignment with the accelerated desire that I'm getting from Allah, then I will find the exact thing within the lane of my intention. If my intention is not in alignment, then he can use the direction that he knows I'm going in because I'm consistent, I'm solid. See, I'm a solid, consistent vessel. My integrity is right in terms of, and I don't mean integrity like if you're negative or positive or a liar, and I'm talking about my integrity as it relates to my intention is clear. So now God can say, I'm going to come in that lane and give you what I want. You're off. He may say, baby, you're off. But I can see clearly what direction you're going in. So I know exactly what lane to go into to introduce to you what it is that I want you to have. But if I'm all over the place, if I'm in 20 different lanes looking at 20 different things, then when Allah introduces the right thing into my vibrational existence, I can't see it because my intention, the integrity of my intention, part of that is oftentimes because I don't believe in myself. So that's why they say when you want something, you have to clean up your belief in yourself. And you have to clean up your in the GPS, the cross section between Ashland and 63rd. And so once you get there, then you can say, I know where I'm going. But sometimes being too specific, your brain is not able to calculate it because you're not there yet. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Shantae X Vanguard. most of the time you're not there. So if being too specific is difficult for you because it's bringing up thoughts and emotions and doubts and disbeliefs in yourself, then you pull back. Just like you would if you were looking for directions. Instead of asking for that specific address, because nobody recognizes that specific address, or your GPS doesn't recognize that specific address, you say, okay, let me just put this cross section in there. Let me put the 2 main streets in there. And then sometimes going general gets you there. So what does that mean? If you say, I need $50,000 and I'm desperate for it. Let's say you say, I need $1,000. I need $200 and I'm desperate for it. And my emotions have been so all over the place that I've made some bad decisions as it relates to my money. So therefore, I'm real disconnected right now as it relates to money and my intention. All I know is that now I'm in a situation where I'm desperate because of the past emotional mistakes that I made that led to certain decisions. So when you're praying about that money, you can't sit down and talk about all the problems that you had when it came to money that led you to that point. If you do have that conversation, at some point you got to come in and hone in your intention. So instead of saying, oh God, I was so messed up because I saw somebody else with these orange boots on, and I went and ran out and bought the orange boots. I didn't know the boots was $5,000, but I wanted them so bad because I seen somebody else in them. I seen, Sister so-and-so in those boots. So I went and got the boots. Then I had to, pay a bunch of other bills. But of course, since I got the orange boots, she also had this bad orange coat on with it. So I had to go out and get the coat. And so, because I really liked the way it made her look. I liked the emotional reaction that I had in my brain when I saw her in that orange coat and them orange boots. It just made me feel like she had her stuff together. But then most importantly, it made me feel like I didn't have my stuff together. So when I'm looking at her and her orange coat and her orange boots, I'm like, man, what's wrong with me? I ain't got no orange coats. I ain't got no orange boots. Not knowing, what she went through to get it, not knowing how much it cost, not knowing somebody gave it to her, not knowing somebody made it, but not knowing that at the root of that is our view, an inordinate negative view of ourselves. So I want them orange boots. I want that orange coat. I went out and I got it, and now I don't have the money to pay my rent. Or now I don't have the money to make my car payment. So how do I fix my vibration and my thoughts when I'm feeling guilty subconsciously because I went out and splurged on this orange coat and these orange boots because I saw somebody else in them, and it made me feel inadequate because I watched everybody give her compliments about her orange coat and her orange boots. And I feel like at this point in my development, I should have some orange coat and some orange boots. What do I do? Because that's natural. I don't even want you to beat yourself up on that. I think it's natural that if you are in a space where you look for Allah in everything, you're going to find him in everything. The problem is how we define everything. So when you looked at that sister and the interaction that she was getting and the confidence she seemed to have in her orange coat and her orange boots, you thought, wow, this is amazing. I like that. I like that feeling. I like how she looks. I like how she's vibing. So you wanted that for yourself. Or you realize, I can have orange coats and orange boots, or I deserve that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's okay. As long as you don't flip that over into being jealous of her because of her orange coat and her orange boots, that's okay. But now you have to come over here and say, what's my next best move? That's what I ask Allah. I said, Allah, I saw something I liked today. I don't know if I saw it and it triggered me because it's something that you feel like I should desire, but I'm sitting here in front of you and I desire it. What is the next best move that I need to make? Who do I need to become in order to what? Have the feeling that I desire when I get me an orange coat and orange boots. See, you're not really chasing the orange coat and the orange boots. You're chasing the feeling that you want to have, how you want to feel when you get the orange coat and the orange boots. So you want to sit down in a general way, in a very general way. If you say, you know what, and I'm using orange coats and orange boots because it's kind of a silly example, but I want to draw attention to it. If you also sit down and you say, you know, I like the feeling that I believe having those orange coats and those boots will give me. I want to know what that feels like. And as I'm sitting here talking to you, I kind of think I know how I might feel if I have that orange coat and that orange boot. I think I know how I'm going to feel. And then I say, I don't go into, I'm going to go down to this store, I'm going to do this, I'm going to walk on this floor, and I'm going to punch the elevator, I'm going to go up here, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to take the money out the bank. I ain't even there yet. I'm just talking to myself about the feeling of having that orange coat and those orange boots. How will I feel? Then I say, and you know what? It's logical. This ain't a big thing. See, some people call me and they say, Wendy, you have such big aspirations and you make such big goals. And I don't look at things as big, because big diminishes where I am, because it's saying I'm down here and I see it as big. I say, it's something that's logical. It's something that's inevitable. It's something that's eventual. It's something that makes sense. It's something that, and sometimes I have to go to Allah and I say, Allah, you put this desire in my heart. And you've put every single desire, micro desire along the way to get me through each step in my heart. And you've guided me each way. So why wouldn't you guide me the rest of the way? I know you will. And so I'm just going to focus on how I will feel when you help me get to the other side, or when you get me there. I want you to think about this in terms of drugs. And this is probably going to sound crazy to you. When people are on drugs, for example, people talk about crack cocaine and how people are chasing the high. They will do anything to get that high or that feeling again. So their whole mindset is based on how I'm going to feel when I get my next hit. And so they literally perform the impossible. We have jokes in our community that crackheads will do anything. They will perform the impossible in order to get to that next feeling. Well, there's something that they're tapping into in a warped way as it relates to a law of the universe, because they are chasing the high and chasing the feeling and not necessarily chasing the thing. That's what makes them jump off buildings and not get hurt. That's what makes them fearless. That's what makes them do all kind of warped things. But because it's warped, obviously the product is bad. But look at the principle. So when you want something, if you want a new house, if you want a new car, if you want a relationship, if you want to see yourself healed, if you want to do anything, you want a new job, you want to see yourself with a closer relationship with God, then think about how it will make you feel when you get that. And when you focus on how it will make you feel, then you start chasing the high of the idea, the high of the goal, the high of the accomplishment. Now you are unstoppable. Brother Lamont said crackheads are some of the most resourceful human beings. Well, why are they so resourceful and we're not resourceful? Why are we not resourceful? Why is it that we want something very simple and we can't get it? Why are we not as resourceful as a crackhead? It's because we're chasing the thing and we're impeded by what other people think. We move forward with bifurcated, trifurcated, diluted intention. But that crackhead is chasing that one feeling and that one thing. So when you want something, how's it going to make you feel? You want a new house? See yourself walking through the house. You know, I sit up in my meditation and in my prayers and I walk myself through the completed version of the Elijah Muhammad house or the Sajdah house. People look at me and they say, oh my God, the amount of expenses, yeah, it's huge. The amount of responsibility, yeah. But it's a very logical project. It's an eventual project. It will get finished. It's a project that makes sense. I can go general, which then allows me to go very specific. If I lose my way in the specifics, I pull back. I reset the GPS and I say, let me see. Let me put something more general in. And I walk myself through it. I see myself walking in the door when it's complete. I see myself walking in the sitting room, in the table talks room, in the kitchen. I see myself there telling people, go online, go to your virtual tour. I see you all accessing the virtual tours, clicking on the buttons and learning. I see you all being inoculated against this disease of technology that's out here, using the immunity that you get from these teachings and this history that's in that house. I see that. And as I see it, guess what? I like how it feels. And I pay attention to how I feel as I'm moving through virtually in my mind the completed version of this project. I pay attention to how I feel. So now I'm chasing the high. And I'm not chasing the what. I'm chasing the emotion. I'm chasing the feeling. I can be laser focused because I love the feeling. I love the vibration of laughter and love. So I get rid of people who consistently don't bring that. If you talk to me, you know, you can send me a joke and I will laugh. I would take time out of a busy day to sit and have a conversation with somebody just to laugh and enjoy myself, to have an enlightening conversation. Why? Because I'm chasing that high. I'm chasing the high of success. I'm chasing the high of associated with love. So if I meet someone and I say this for us even in relationships, right? You meet somebody, and if the feeling that they give you, that feeling of love is a good one, that's what we go for. I want that feeling. I like the way I feel around that person. I just like the vibe. Forget how fine he is. Forget how, all these other things. What's the feeling? So that's what you chase. That's why dope fiends are the most resourceful people. It ain't so much the dope making them be resourceful. It's the high that they're chasing as a result of the dope. So what I'm saying to you all, the high that you should be chasing as a result of the thought of your goals is where we should be going. That's where we go. So we don't even entertain. If you got that dope fiend and they're addicted to crack, they're not entertaining you telling them, here, drink a bunch of water. They out here looking for that thing. They not listening to you talking about, here's some water. They want what's going to get them that feeling. So what about you and I with our goals? We out here looking for one thing, and you got people who are bred in the art of technology who are introducing other things to us. You ought to be so locked into the feeling of what it is that you want that even if you see that and it still looks good, you don't get the feeling you're looking for, then you shouldn't even be going for it. Because if it's something that's beyond your intellectual capacity, you're not going to get there focusing on the thing. Focusing on the details, on the how. You're not going to get there. You got to be first focused on the feeling. See, a lot of people will introduce technology into your life because they don't know any better. That's how they breed. They breed on technology. They breed on The power of suggestion. I remember growing up, my brother and I would watch commercials. And I think remember one time we were watching you got 60 high that made us feel like, let's go chase that high. So we went and chased that chicken and got the chicken. That's why when you watch these food commercials, you ever see these hamburger and cheeseburger commercials, and the cheeseburger's this big, it takes up your whole screen, even if you got a 72-inch TV. That's what makes you eat more. That's what makes you eat again, even though you know you're not hungry, because when they got this big old juicy burger or this big old juicy thing that you like, and you know it's something you like because they done geo-fenced you. They done figured out what your interests are. They done tracked your credit card usage, and they know that you go to Popeyes all the time, or they know that you go to McDonald's and order Big Macs all the time because it's on your credit card receipt, and your credit card company then sold it to your cable company, and your cable company then sold it to the advertisers. And so now the only commercials that you're getting are the commercials that are within the metadata that matches what they know that you like. So now they put the big cheeseburger on the television, and you go out and eat a big cheeseburger even though you just ate. Or you go out and you overeat even though you just had something. So that's tricknology. That's what I mean by tricknology. So a lot of people live their life based on that. They don't make their own decisions and their own choices. They are not free. Everything they do is based on the power of suggestion. They hurt themselves. They overspend. They hurt other people. They talk negatively about people. They make wrong decisions because of the power of suggestion. Big cheeseburger, Sister Alita. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that tricknology gets introduced, and it's a technique. All right. So now you meet somebody who is your friend, or who you think is your friend. Or let me see, before I go there, we got all this stuff happening, all this tricknology that's out there, where you're being fed a false reality. You make decisions based on that false reality. You don't really even understand how all the other decisions in your life are impacted by that big cheeseburger on the television. So it impacts everything. Okay. Even now, the fact that you got to go lay down at 8 o'clock at night because you done ate 4 or 5 of those big cheeseburgers that they put on the screen that's 72 inches wide. So now you can't really do any work. You feel lazy. You're tired. You got the itis. But remember, everybody's being impacted by this tricknology. So now you got groupthink. And so the next new company that comes in that has a product, a service, or an idea that they want to introduce into the system, they plug into that same system. And they say, oh, this worked for the big beef cheeseburgers, so I think it's going to work for my idea or my concept. So the advertisers use that same process to get you to think a certain way, to get you to act a certain way, to get you to do certain things that were not part of your original decision-making process. And it makes you think that that's your decision. So now we get into our individual relationships, whether it's a family relationship, a love interest, a husband, a wife, a marriage, brothers and sisters, like I said, family, a work relationship, a church relationship, a mosque relationship. We get into these individual relationships where the people come to us in the name of love, but they're using the same tricknology process that the people who made the big cheeseburger used. Same process, same suggestion, same thing. If you don't go get this cheeseburger, something's wrong with you. If you don't like this, if I introduce this lifestyle to you and you don't accept it and say it's okay, something's wrong with you. I'm going to cancel you. I'm going to get rid of you. If you say certain things or you question certain things, then I'm going to suggest that something's wrong with you. That you're radical. You got a problem. So now guess what happens? Now you get this groupthink, because now you got that the master of the technology thinks, because they've already pointed them in that right direction. They've already seeded the mindsets. They've already created the mindset. See, when you sit down and you look at television, you look around you, it's all product of a PR strategy. It's all product of something. So what does that mean? What does that really mean? What that means then, oftentimes then in our individual relationships, of the technology, if you say you love me and I say I love you, that means that I love you only under certain conditions. I love you only if you check all these boxes. I check you only as long as you look, or I love you only as long as you look a certain way. I love you only as long as you talk a certain way. I love you only as long as you do the things that I believe you need to be doing in order to be in a relationship with me. I don't love you unconditionally. That don't mean that I can't make some adjustments in the relationship, but I don't love you unconditionally. That pop culture mindset, and I'm bringing that right over into my relationship. Because pop culture says, all right, the strategy is no longer the big cheeseburger on the screen. It's a big slice of pizza with the melted cheese. And so I'm going to bring on the screen a big slice of pizza with the melted cheese. I'm going to make it take up the whole size of your 55-inch or your 72-inch screen, and you're going to want pizza. And so that's what we're on today. It's kind of like in The Wiz, right? At the end when they were changing the colors of the day. Green, blue, and they were singing. It's kind of like that. That's what's happening to us. Because we have no wisdom and no knowledge that we're anchoring into anything that we can put our teeth into that are going to lock us into place and give us a standard of viewing things. So every time we watch something on television, we don't have a basis of knowledge. So we're flowing with the wind. They say, hey, take this pill. We go take this pill. They say, hey, drink this drink. We go drink this drink. They say, hey, watch this television show. We go watch this television. Right? So what does that mean? That means we're not free. When you bring that all the way down to the mustard seeds of detail, it means that we're not free. So most of us are afraid to think independently because we're worried. Most of us are afraid to love independently because we're worried. We're afraid to give unconditional love. We're worried. We think somebody gonna hurt us. I remember back in the day, I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with Lifetime Movie Network. And I don't think my girl Tony is on here, but Tony is the one who introduced me to Lifetime Movie Network. So she would call me and she would say, what you doing? And I'd tell her, and she said, girl, it's this movie on Lifetime. And I say, what is Lifetime? And so she said, girl, they be having these shows on here. And at that time, they had these movies on there that were always like real amateurly made. It was always some crazy drama about something that you thought in your subconscious mind could happen, but maybe it didn't happen. A lot of them were set in Chicago, so we'd see Chicago, or we'd see cities that we were familiar with in there. Or it'd be like a town where everybody knows somebody from, like it'll say Kansas. So unlike big movie production that was always like New York, LA, Lifetime was Kansas City, Des Moines, Iowa, Bolingbrook, Illinois. And so it made it so relatable. And so she would all, and the way Lifetime used to, my brother and I, we call it slamming, because if somebody is showing you a program and they don't even put a commercial in between, they just slam you with the next one. So you don't even get a chance to get up. Next thing you know, you done sat down and watched 2-3 movies on Lifetime. So okay. So it looks like Instagram was pausing us due to poor connection. We've never had poor internet connection, so I'm going to say it's Instagram. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me okay and if I'm back. It says we're back live, but give me... Anybody having a pausing video, give me a... thumbs up in the chat. We just got 5 minutes or so left in the... It's IG. Yeah, I believe it's IG too. Anyway, greetings everyone who just joined us. We're just talking about freedom. We were talking about that Lifetime movie. Maybe that's why they cut it. But anyway, when you watch those movies, it creates an emotional charge that when you see a scenario that is similar to that movie, you automatically think, ooh, this is like a Lifetime movie. So this is what I'm saying to us. Create your own Lifetime movie. Create your own thing that you're addicted to. Get addicted to a feeling. Get addicted to the feeling of being in relationship with God. And chase that high. Chase that feeling of knowing that God loves you. Of knowing that God is with you and that God is all around you and that God will never, ever, ever fail you. Chase that feeling of knowing that He's there. That the small decisions you make, whether you decide to put on this tam or this shirt or this necklace or drink from this glass or introduce this project, think about that. That's the high that you chase, knowing that God is with you. And so you move forward with intention. You lock it in like this. So if somebody comes and introduces to you a thought, a product, a decision, a brand, something that you should do that does not line up with that feeling that you're chasing, then you know it's off. I don't care how good it looks. That'll prevent us from falling victim to the technology. I don't care how good it looks. See, if you got a person who's addicted to drugs and they're chasing the high of the next hit and you offer them a glass of water, that glass of water is not going to substitute for that rock that they're chasing because they're going after a certain feeling. Well, what makes them resourceful? They don't care because they're going after a certain feeling. So you got to sit down with your goal. You got to sit down with your vision. You got to sit down with whatever it is that you're looking to do and find the feeling associated. How do you think you will feel when you get there? And that's how you get yourself there. You don't get yourself there by just running towards it and looking at it in the horizon and just keep going. You get yourself there by saying, how will I feel when I open the car door of my new car and I'm driving down the street? How will I feel when I put the key in my new house? How will I feel when I open up my new business? See, I remember the feeling I had when I opened my first office, when I bought my first house. I remember that. I remember talking to my nephew when he just got a new house saying, how do you feel? I made sure I took a video and captured him keying into his new house. How do you feel? And so now you start to look for things like Sajdah Saturday Morning Coffee Talk that make you feel a certain way so that it supports the feeling or the high that you are chasing. So you chase that, and then your subconscious mind will line everything up else around you. Nobody will be able to trick you. Nobody will be able to say, why don't you try this over here? You're not going to try that over there, no matter how appetizing it looks, because you got the feeling. It's like when you say you got a taste for something. I got a taste for pizza. I got a taste for bean pie. I got a taste for some Sajdah ice cream. I got a taste for some chocolate chip cookies. I got a taste for a salad with some lime cilantro dressing. I got a taste for that. So I'm not satisfied until I get that taste in my mouth. Well, what does your new car taste like? What does your new house taste like? You got a taste for something new. Then go satisfy that taste. Don't let nobody introduce something. If you say, I got a taste for something sweet, don't let nobody introduce something salty into your palate. You said you got a taste for something sweet. You said you got a taste for this particular project. I got a taste for a $50,000 reward. I got a taste for a $50 million business. I got a taste for the completion of the Elijah Muhammad House Museum. I already got the feeling. So I'm not going to let somebody introduce in, and you shouldn't let somebody introduce something in that is different from the emotion you're chasing, the high you're chasing, the taste you have in your mouth. So you know what we do? Let me say this real quick in these last few minutes. You know what we do? We lose our taste. We lose our sense of taste. We lose our sense of touch. We let somebody make us feel like because we want something, because we desire something, because we feel a certain way, we let somebody make us feel like there's something wrong with that. And why would a person make us feel like it's something wrong with that? It's because they want to introduce something else into there. They want us to have a taste for something else. It's like if you say, you know what, there's something about this person that I like. Like, I kind of like him. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling him. And then somebody else says, I think you should like so-and-so. Or because I want to satisfy that person so bad, I block my taste, my sensation, my desire for that particular guy because I don't like how everybody else makes me feel when I express my desire or my attraction to that person. So I just dull my senses. I dull my desires because that person wants to control me. They don't want me to have no feelings. They don't want me to have that kind of feeling because heaven forbid that person feels the same way about me. And you know, two people with the same vision and the same desire and the same goal are powerful, almost unstoppable. So anyway, that's how we get our freedom back. Okay, I want you to focus on, get something you anchor in. You need a body of knowledge. You need some teachings. You need a wealth of information that is your foundation. And then once you come up with your goals, once you come up with what it is that you want, once you respond to those accelerated suggestions that come from Allah in your mind, start to see how will you feel when this happens. Don't just do that when it's something you're scared of. See, when we scared of something, we create it in our mind and we get scared and we live in that space of fear, and the thing we're afraid of ain't never even happened. Well, you got to do the same thing with what it is that you want. Not fear-based, but love-based, desire-based. Just like you can sit in your house and say, man, what would I do if so-and-so died? What would I do if I didn't have this person in my life? And then you let that feeling course all through your body. You can feel it in your heart. You can feel it in your stomach if that person leaves you. That person laying there right next to you, but you worry that they're going to leave. And so you now are conjuring up that emotion every time you get ready to make a decision around that person. Well, guess what? They eventually leave because you chased the high of them leaving and you didn't even know it. Well, I'm telling you, chase the high of your goals. Chase the high of the will of Almighty God, Allah. Chase the high of what it is that you want by sitting down and determining, how will I feel when this happens? How am I going to feel in a separate territory? How am I going to feel if I'm eating farm foods that are farm to table? How am I going to feel when these certain things happen? And sit there and allow that feeling and that energy to flow through your body. All right, y'all, with that, please, 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 everybody here, go to change.org/Elijah Muhammad House. Please sign our petition of support. We have been nominated for the National Historic Registry. So this is not a petition of protest. This is a petition of celebration. This is a petition of excitement, a petition of support. We want you all to go out there and support us. Sign the petition. The flyers are posted here on this page at Mo Today Universe and on at Sajdah House. Repost them. If you look, read the petition. I know a lot of us don't like to read. Don't chip and dip me this morning. Go sign this petition, y'all. I know a lot of us don't like to read, but read the petition. So if you want to write a letter or do a testimony on September 22nd, 2021 and support us, then we ask that you do this. This is not a defensive thing. This is not a negative thing. This is not something that we gotta have. This is a nice to have. It'd be nice to have the Elijah Muhammad House Museum listed on the National Historic Register. That's a nice to have. And it's fun to be able to move forward and sign up for stuff. Just because we say, that'd be nice to have. So anyway, the day that we're going before City Hall is September 22nd, 2021. It is the 90th anniversary of the Savior and the Messengers meeting. It's a very special day. We are celebrating 90 years. This whole campaign is a celebration. The signing of the petition is a celebration and support. So please go out there. The link is in the bio. When you click the link in my bio, it's the very first one. Go there, sign the petition, donate a couple dollars if you can. We really appreciate you. And if you really, really want to additionally support, help us with the renovation and the restoration also. Go and here you just need to purchase a commemorative Elijah coin. All right, so look, y'all, sign the petition, sign the petition, sign the petition. It's a petition of support. A petition of love, a petition of celebrating 90 years of service to the world through the resurrection of the black man and woman here in America, with teachings that have reverberated around the world and that are beneficial from anybody from all walks of life, that you will see the beauty and power of these teachings right there at the Elijah Muhammad House Museum. So go and vote. We want to be on the National Register. It's a nice to have. I mean, if we don't get it, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but it'd be nice. All right. Peace and blessings, family. Thank you for being patient with me this morning. May Allah bless you, and happy Saturday. Peace.